everyone, this is Ritu and I am here to share with you my understanding and what I have figured out about baking a good cake, rather baking a good cake every time. I think there's a very simple science behind baking or cooking anything for that matter when we know and understand our ingredients properly. And we know how well they gel with each other. When we mix them or cook them together, we have quite a clear idea of the end results of it. I can assure you, you'll never go wrong with your cakes after watching this video till end, because I'm going to share with you the simplest way to bake a cake and remember things very easily. When we talk about cakes, we know that it should be light, fluffy, moist and lightly sweet. Before getting started, I really want to request all of you to just go ahead and experiment with your different ingredients and make your own, try to make your own different, unique, exclusive cakes for your loved ones. So let's get started.
So as I just explained, a good cake is all about the right rice, the right moisture and right amount of sweetness. Let's talk about the very basic ingredients for baking a cake. We need a kind of flour. The flour needs to rise, so the rising agent, milk, butter and sweetener and eggs. If you are a vegetarian like me, we can actually substitute the eggs by using condensed milk, curd, buttermilk, milk powder or banana puree. The very basic ingredient for a cake is flour. We can use all-purpose flour or maida, which is very easy to rise. We can also go for whole wheat flour, bajra or jawar flour. We can use oatmeal, cornmeal, cocoa powder for the chocolate cakes, and nowadays there's another option which is healthier and very easy to rise is gluten-free all-purpose flour. The only thing we need to understand and remember here is whenever we're mixing different flours with maida or we're taking whole wheat flour, we need to know that the protein content here is way more than maida. So we need to increase the quantity of our rising agent, which is baking soda and baking powder. Simple. So what is gluten and how does it affect our cake? Gluten is the group of protein present in the grain. It helps give the bread their body and fluffy shape by holding the air released by the rising agent. The more we beat or knead our batter or dough, the more gluten it generates, which is very good for the breads, but a real big problem for the cakes. So we never ever beat the cake batter once the flour is added. Even when the eggs are added, only eggs are to be beaten and not the batter. Now comes the rising agent. We have baking powder, baking soda, cream of tartar. If you don't have cream of tartar, we can use citric acid or lemon juice for that matter. Talk about the rising agent on a broader scale. We have three different categories. Number one, rising through chemical reaction, which includes baking powder and baking soda along with lemon juice or vinegar or citric acid, which are good for the cakes. Number two is biological risers like yeast and fungus, which are good for the breads. Number three is air or steam. Air is created through egg beating. So here comes the butter or oil. We can use any kind of butter or oil, whatever is available with us. Just make sure that it does not have a very strong flavor or fragrance. So here comes the sweetener. We can literally use anything which is sweet, like powder sugar, normal sugar, brown sugar, jaggery, maple syrup, honey, banana puree. You can actually use anything. You can also use dates sometimes. Essence. We actually see everyone including essence in their cakes, but it is generally to avoid the fragrance and flavor of the eggs. If you're not using eggs in your cakes, it is totally optional. So now let's talk about the most important thing, which is proportions, which is super duper easy, as I call it the golden ratio, which is 1:2:3:4. You can remember it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So one proportion is always the butter or oil, 2 is the sweetener, 3 is the quantity of flour and 4 eggs. If you're not using eggs, then we can use homemade or the market one, condensed milk. You can use flax seeds and also banana puree. Now other important ratios, which is baking powder and baking soda basically. So if there's 1 cup of flour, there should be 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And if we are using 3 cups of flour, then we can use up to 1 cup of curd and 1 cup of condensed milk, and rest we can use the normal plain milk. There's a vast variety of fruits and flavors available in our surroundings. I request all of you to just explore and use them in your cakes and make them unique. So we actually have better and healthier baking substitute for all of our ingredients. Choosing the right cake tin is always advisable. It should be right size. It should be greased and dusted before we start mixing our ingredients. After mixing, we should only fill it halfway. We can also use cake tin belts, which are easily available in the markets nowadays, for a even top and softer sides. I personally like the hard sides of it, so I go for the normal cake tin. Some more sizes. This is what I was talking about a few moments earlier. It is totally optional. Before getting started, everything we need should be on the counter. It makes things really easier and faster. We can actually separate the dry ingredients from the liquid ones. We should be ready with all the tools like spatula, bowl, electric whisk, normal whisker, a cloth, measuring spoons and cups, safe chopped dry fruits or fruits, whatever we're using in our cake. And now put the oven to preheat. Let's start mixing. Super simple 3-step mixing here. Number 1, the butter and the sugar. We can also add in the oil here and whisk them together. Now sift all the dry ingredients in the same bowl. Then add milk, butter, curd or condensed milk, whatever you're using, and cut and fold the mixture. We do not need to beat the batter. Don't beat the batter. And now the temperature. Do you remember we put the oven to preheat before we started mixing our ingredients together? Right? Yes. So now the oven is preheated. If we are baking in an oven or OTG, 160 degree to 180 degree for 25 minutes to 35 minutes is good. If we are baking in a pan on a gas burner, the flame should be always between slow and medium. Then let it cook or bake actually. Then check and cover it with a cloth and let it cool for 10 to 15 minutes and then demold it. There's a phrase called where there's a will, there's a way. If we don't have an OTG or oven, doesn't matter, we can use pressure cooker, idli maker, frying pan, halwa maker when we know how to bake there. Just a quick revision of the process. We are ready with the ingredients, we know the proportion, proper mixing, we're ready with the mold, and we know the temperature. So now I guess we're ready to bake any kind of cake, brownie, banana, coffee walnut, bajra, red velvet, any kind of cake. I still request all of you to please go ahead and experiment with different ingredients in different proportions to make your own exclusive cake. I'm sure there are no more cake failures. Enjoy! Yum! Hope you had fun, because I had a lot of fun making this video. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel for even more such explanations on different topics. Thank you. Bye bye. This is Ritu signing off.